Hey guys, how's it going? Azra Collections here, and today we're looking at a review of the MixMax bodies from Vctoysbox. So I got these figures not too long ago, but I've been having a lot of fun with them. I just wanted to review these so that you guys know exactly what you're getting and should you buy or not buy this body for customs. So the reason I got these bodies, and I got 5 of them, and I've actually used a couple in customs already, so I'll showcase that later on. But the reason I bought these bodies was because I was already doing like custom made suits myself, so I wanted to use those suits and then put them on bodies that were reasonably good or high quality. So I was using actually KO figures from AliExpress for Mezco figures, but those weren't really the best kind of figures. They were a little bit flimsy. They weren't that durable. They were a little bit floppy sometimes. So I thought this would be a good change of pace. And these are actually cheaper depending on the bodies that you're or the figures that you're looking at on AliExpress. The Batmans tend to be like a little bit more expensive. Captain America is a little bit cheaper, but there are a few figures that you get full arms for, or you get like different accessories for. So I think for accessories, that's still the best route to go if you want like cheap customizable body with accessories. But I got these bodies because they were more durable, they look more sturdy, and so far I find that these are actually better. Alright, so looking at these bodies up close, I think that they're pretty good. There's a lot of details going on. The abs, as you can see, is pretty awesome there. The chest piece is pretty big, but I think it's not as big as Superman or Batman, but it still gets the job done. It's pretty bulky. The only difference that I've noticed is there's no butterfly joint. With all the Mezcos, you do get the butterfly joints, so that's a little bit different, but it still can butterfly a little bit, but it's probably just how it's pegged into the body. There's a good deal of articulation, but we'll get into that later. Just in terms of the aesthetics, it looks pretty good. There's a lot of muscle tone. There's a lot of good. Yeah, I think the paint and the skin color is pretty good as well. There's a lot of awesome details on the body. Yeah, you can see that some parts are more flat. Like the thighs are pretty detailed, but then the calves are pretty flat. But that's because these are removable parts that you could use custom gloves or gauntlets or boots on. So that's why they're designed that way. I think still not an excuse. They could have done it better, but I mean, it is what it is, right? All right, so in terms of articulation, we've got the ball peg at the neck. So it's a double ball that goes into the neck. The neck itself has a joint in there. So I think it's a single ball going into the neck. There is a diaphragm joint as well. So that's how much you can go back and forwards. So it's not that much, but for some figures, especially with the heads that you use, you can get like a good flight pose if you want to do like a Superman kind of body. The shoulders can go out that much, which is decent. The bicep can swivel. The elbows are double jointed, and they get pretty much what you need to get done. There's a swivel at the gauntlet or glove. There's a wrist swivel and a hinge. You can go back and forth, or you can customize that to go in and out. There is also range of motion here, so you can go all the way around if you want them to. The waist is a bit more tight, like the waist piece here fits pretty tight with the lower abdomen piece, so you can't do much there. But then you can get like a little bit of pivot front and back. So all in all, he can crouch forward or crunch forward that much and crunch back that much, which is all right. The thighs, I think, are the best part because they're very muscular and they are actually a little bit bigger. So your figure's gonna have a wider stance because the thighs are so big. So yeah, the thighs can go out pretty well. There's like a swivel there, or it can rotate around the ball. There's a thigh kind of cut as well, which is pretty cool. He can kick forward that much. Sorry about the camera. He can kick forward that much. He can kick back that much, which is not that much, but it still gets the job done. There's a double bend in the knee, which is pretty cool. There's a calf kind of boot cut, which you can go all the way around if you want. And the legs have a ball peg, which can go front, back. I don't know, is that a ball peg? There's just articulation that is done with the ball, so you can pivot pretty well as well. So you can get most things done with this body. So something that I thought would be interesting is just looking at other compatible parts from MezKO figures. So I haven't pulled apart any Mezco figures that are official, but I've actually had a lot of MezKO figures that I've pulled apart. So I want to take you through just what parts work really well on this figure and what parts don't. So if you look at this figure here, that's a figure that's not modified at all, and all the gloves and boots are not modified either. So those are all from the Steve Rogers Captain America set, where the gloves and the boots fit perfectly. So there's no modifications done whatsoever, and they just fit perfectly. They're not loose, so they work really well. And the head is from a DC Essentials figure, so that ball peg here works really well with that figure. So yeah, it can just without any modifications except the DC Essentials head. On the right here, we've got a BVS Batman MezKO figure. So I basically took the suit out and the gloves and the boots. So the gloves fit perfectly. The belt, you just have to, I haven't plugged it in. And the body suit obviously fits because it's a stretchy kind of fabric. But the boots don't really fit. I put some foam in there to make it work. So you might have to do a little bit of tweaking here and there just to, make stuff work with it or not. But yeah, you might find that most things are immediately compatible, even if it's Mezco or MezKO. And you might have to do a little bit of tweaking here and there, put foam in, or maybe make the peg a little bit smaller, or maybe make the adapter a little bit bigger. So you can definitely make it work, is I think basically what I'm trying to say. And there is a lot of compatible parts that will work straight out of the box, but some might only need minor modifications. The only other thing to note here is most neck pegs will work perfectly fine with it. So the Batman here, there's no modifications to the neck and it just plugs straight in. And I think I've also used like a basic Captain America neck, which works pretty fine as well. So yeah, those things would plug and play, would work pretty well. The only other issue is that these MixMax bodies don't have emblem holes in the chest. So you have to either print on the emblems, which I'll showcase later on, or just either drill holes or make the emblem like the Batman logo that comes with this body. It doesn't fit in there because there are no plug holes, so I might need to either make holes or just trim down the pegs and then stick it to the suit, which either way it might or might not work for you. So in terms of scaling, this is what our MixMax body looks like next to some Marvel Legends figures. So I use Marvel Legends for a little bit of customizing as well, so that's why I actually want to showcase them. So here, this is the Vance Astra body, and here, this is the Red Guardian. I think that's what it is. Red Guardian body. I got that body because of the boots, so that worked for Black Adam. I still want to redo that suit, but that's basically a Black Adam in like work in progress. So that's what it looks like. I think they're really compatible, really works at the scale. And I think, yeah, Marvel Legends is the other kind of body that I would use for these customs, especially for figures that you want to be a little bit bulkier or stronger than the MixMax or MezKO characters, because the Marvel Legends tend to have a little bit of a bigger body. But yeah, I think the shoulders kind of disappoint me a little bit, and the under armpit joint really looks horrible with the Marvel Legends, which causes a whole bunch of a whole lot of bunching under the underarms, and it looks like saggy chest, which isn't the best thing. But yeah, that's what the Marvel Legends body makes the suit look like. So yeah, I think these bodies are really good for just adapting to the suits. But then for bigger characters like Black Adam here, this works as well. So next up, we've got a Mezco figure and a MezKO figure. So just wanted to compare this body next to those guys. On the right there, we've got the Sovereign Knight Batman, and on the left there, we've got the MezKO Superman. So this body pretty much, in terms of height, is pretty comparable. But I think just with the Sovereign Knight, his chest and the muscles are a little bit more beefier than this guy. But yeah, at the same time, the MezKO ones are a little bit more thin. So here we have the MixMax body next to a BVS Superman body that I've stripped the clothing off of. So this is what the BVS body looks like. The forearms are definitely more defined and a lot better. But in terms of everything else, I think this guy is a little bit too scrawny. Well, the abs are definitely there, and there's a little bit of muscle definition to the chest as well. But then I think this guy just looks a little bit better in terms of it's wider, it's bigger, there's just more definition. And about in terms of height, I think they're about the same. Yeah, the shoulder is kind of the same. So yeah, height wise they're the same, but I think this body is a little bit bigger, and the thighs definitely, because of the gap next to the crotch piece here, just makes the body look a little bit more wider. So I think this works better, but this is what the Superman body looks like. All right, next up we've got the Superman MezKO figure and the MixMax figure both wearing the same suit, so it's a like for like comparison. Apologies for not having the trunks and the belt and the cape on this guy because they're a little bit more difficult to create and I've not perfected it yet. So I've done the suits pretty well. I think that my suits are pretty good, so that's why I've got that more or less done. I'm just waiting for fabrics to come in so that I can get the trunks to look better. But yeah, regardless. So this is what the figures would look like wearing the same suit. And I think that the MixMax body definitely has more details in terms of just, yeah, you can see the musculature coming through, the chest is bigger. This suit body I think is a little bit smaller. Yeah, the thighs on this guy on the MixMax is definitely much bigger and better, which I really like. And in terms of height, they're pretty similar, but yeah, this guy has more muscle definition. And yeah, I guess that's about it. This guy just has more muscle definition and it makes the suit look better. So that's the exact same setup. Both are wearing the same suit and both have the same accessories in terms of the hands and the legs. So the MixMax hands are a little bit longer, but the the MezKO one obviously has better definition in the hands because it's a single piece kind of wrist area. So next up, we've got the MixMax body. This is a body comparison next to the MezKO BVS Batman body. So yeah, as you can see, this body is a little bit smaller. It just has less. It's probably got more definition going on in terms of the sculpt, but it's just a smaller body. The chest, I think that chest does look a little bit bigger, but then that's probably because that the abdominal section here is a lot bigger than this. So that's kind of like the proportion there. The thighs are definitely bigger on this guy, so it'll, yeah, I just think that the thighs have more musculature, and just because of the width of the thighs, that looks so much better than this. But yeah, that's what the bodies look like next to each other. The pegs are totally different, even in the hands and the legs. But then, yeah, most things are still compatible. Okay, so next we've got Captain America body. So this is also a MSKO figure. Same deal like the Batman figure we just looked at. The abs are a little bit, more defined but smaller. The chest is looks bigger in comparison to the waist, but then yeah, the chest is probably smaller than this guy, and the thighs are the same, bigger on this guy. So MixMax I think just has better proportions for me. And last but not least, we've got the KO Aquaman figure that I took apart because I just didn't like how it was looking, and the figure just looks really tiny, man. Like, yeah, the figure is just like a really scrawny kind of body. Probably works for teenagers. Here you can see just more differences on the peg, and yeah, I guess that's about it. I think one last thing to point out is the limbs are a little bit longer on the MixMax bodies. So if you look here, yeah, the limbs are just a little bit longer on the MixMax bodies. I'm not sure if that's the same case with the legs. Yeah, so the limbs are a little bit longer on the MixMax bodies. So now it's that time where I show you a bit of a showcase on what I'm working on. At the moment, I'm working on a BVS Batman on a MixMax body. It just makes the legs look so much better and the suit fits tighter on this figure. So I think that works really well. So I'm still working on getting a few parts like the emblem working on there, and then I have to basically glue on the belt and then maybe glue on the fabric to the body so it just looks more cohesive. But I think that actually is definitely a upgrade. So next up, we've got the Kingdom Come Superman custom that I'm still working on. I got the emblem on there, pretty cool. I actually used a different kind of stitching on the suit, so it looks a little bit more like the MezKO Superman figure suit. But I just thought I'd try something new. I kind of really like this custom. I still got to work on the belt. The head is from the DC Mattel, I think, Multiverse line Kingdom Come Superman, one of their last kind of figure series. But yeah, that head really works well with the smaller neck. And I think the boots are a little bit short, but that's what the original Mezco boots look like. So they are a little bit shorter. This is not the original boot. This is actually a recast from Action Figure Customs on eBay. So shout out to him. Really good. He does really good parts. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish this custom. Just have better looking trunks. Maybe darken up the suit a little bit, or maybe use different fabrics for the suit. But I think I'm really digging the logo and probably the boots. I'm not really sure about, but yeah, it's a good enough. It's a good looking custom. So next up, we've got the Red Sun Superman custom that I'm still working on. I still need to work on the neck piece here. At the moment, it's just a piece of paper that's stuck to the neck, so it looks, kind of complete. The trunks I probably need to redo. They're not the best, but the boots are actually pretty cool. This is also from Action Figure Customs on eBay. I think that works really well with this ensemble. So yeah, I still need to work on the belt and also source a head for this guy, but I think this is coming along really well, and yeah, I probably need to make a flag just so that he looks like, he's got the Soviet flag up as well, so that will probably look pretty cool. But I'll update you on Instagram on future, updates on this figure. I also want to work on a red hood, but that's all I've got so far. Just the head that really fits with the body, and the boots I'll probably use. I'm not sure about the gauntlets, but yeah, that's basically what I have for red hood. So the fifth and last body is the one that I hadn't done anything with till today, and I only did it for the review. So this body was pretty much nude the whole time because I wanted to do this review before I put some clothing on him. But yeah, during this process I did put these clothings on him, so he does look pretty cool, I think. So I might keep him that way, but yeah, that's the fifth body. So that's all the five bodies I have, and I'm definitely looking to order more. So in conclusion, I think that these MixMax bodies are absolutely awesome. I've already got 5. I'm probably going to look to buy maybe 10 more just to do more customs. I think that these bodies are a really good base to make or create better customs on. The bodies do lend themselves really well to the clothing. They're probably not as good as the Mezco actual bodies, but they still do a good job and at a really decent price point. I think it's about 25 Australian dollars for me. So that's a hell of a lot cheaper than a real Mezco, which costs around 130 Australian dollars. And the Mezco knockoffs would cost around 40 to 60 bucks. So unless I'm looking for accessories, these are the cheapest way to go for me if I just want bodies. And you can fit in most gauntlets and boots and other parts on these bodies, so it works really well. And yeah, I just really am digging these bodies at the moment, and I think it's definitely worth your time if you're a customizer like me. Alright, so that's the review, guys. Thank you for watching. If you want to look at any of these custom updates, please follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting updates as I go. So I will be doing new customs when I get new bodies as well. And once I complete these figures, I'll put them on Instagram so that you can look at how they've turned out. I might share some tips and maybe just some custom tutorials as well later on. But just let me know what you guys think. Do you want tutorials? I could probably do some tutorials so that I can help you guys a little bit further along. But I just wanted to really review these base bodies just in case someone else out there was looking to buy these. I think they're definitely worth it, and VC Toys box is where I got them, so in case you want to buy them as well. Thank you for watching.